Okay, so I'm from the University of Chichester Business School. Chichester is a really small university, and that actually is quite advantageous in some respects because not only do we know everybody in the department, we also know quite a lot of people in social care, in sports science, in psychology, and it allows us to have conversations. And in many respects, those conversations are a bit like innovation at the edge. And I think some of the best innovation happens at the edge, where you get those cross-filtering of ideas. And this initiative came from a conversation that I had with a friend of ours who'd just become chairman of a care home provider. And he basically replicated the conversation that we've just heard from Steve. As he said, taken over this organisation, I've moved in from business, and I'm horrified by the lack of technology. It's all paper-based systems. The care assessment plan that Steve was talking about, it's paper-based. They're not, even their financial systems are mostly paper-based. And so what we're seeing when you look a bit deeper is that that's a problem throughout the sector. Now, if we look at that sector within the context of the ageing population, the reduced funds available from local authorities and from central government to provide that, that problem becomes magnified. It is an issue that technology can help to address. And so what we did was, it was just by one of those happy coincidences that Digital Catapult, the local enterprise partnership covering the area, was looking for proposals around innovation and technology. So we built a proposal in response to the funds available through the European Structural Investment Fund. So I'm just hoping that most people will vote to keep us in. And that's effectively, so we built this proposal focused on care through innovation. It's a joint bid. It's with the University of Brighton. We're bidding for 500k, which has to be matched by 500k, so that's a value of £1 million. And we've got through the first expression of interest phase. So we're now putting forwards the full proposal. There are only two businesses or two organisations that I'm aware of that are going through to full proposal, and I believe that the funds are there for both proposals. Okay, the proposal has to be in by July the 8th. So we're working it up. It's a collaborative project. We're working with the university partner, University of Brighton, as a full partner. And we're working with local authorities, care providers, some technology companies. And what we're trying to do is build networks of innovation, clusters, to bring all of these organisations together, focused around the application of innovation, the application of technology to care sector providers. That's care homes and domiciliary care. The way we're going to do it is to address some of the core issues in the first place. Education is one of them. Okay, so part of the problem that we heard about is that the care providers just don't know what's out there, and they don't know how to implement it. So there is lots there, but they don't know how to implement it. So how can we educate them? How can we educate them to use it? We also want to build a technology roadmap to make sure that the technical providers, the innovative organisations, are aware of the real issues. And some of them are sort of, if we look at a superficial level, we'll say, we'll go for wearable technology. We'll give everybody a Fitbit. We'll monitor how healthy they are. There's a problem with that. Fitbits are calibrated for healthy, fit, active people. They're not calibrated for old people. If they think somebody who's just sat down is asleep, okay? And it could be worse than that. Okay, so we need to rethink it. And so working with our sports scientists, we can do all of that work. And so what we want to, and also our social scientists and our social care experts as well. So it's about bringing the expertise within HE, together with the care sector providers, together with the technologists, to come up with innovative solutions that actually work. Okay, so if we're successful, and we're confident, of course we are, we'll build probably 2 or 3 networks around the region, because we know that typically care sector providers won't travel very far. So we've got to address that need. We will arrange a number, probably 2, innovation labs, open innovation labs, bring everybody together and build a technology roadmap that addresses the real need. And then we will we'll run the education programs, and we will launch a call for proposal focused on around the Open Innovation Lab. So those calls will address the needs of the care sector providers. And those calls could go out to you, but each call will need a care sector input. So it will all be about the application of the technology, application, innovation in a care sector home or a domiciliary environment. So it will need a care sector provider, probably a technologist, and probably an HE organisation as well. The award scheme will be, the grants awarded will be for 50% of the cost. Either the provider or the technologist will need to provide the other 50%. We'll be looking for things like knowledge transfer activity, innovation vouchers, funding for pilot activities, commercialisation grants, prototype development, just raising awareness of the use. Perhaps it could be an innovative education program. Okay. The value of that will be, the value of those grants, about 375,000, total value to the sector of 700,000. So it's not a small pot of money that's available. We expect, if we're successful, to hear around about September, October. But in many respects, this idea of an innovation network is what's happening now. And I know that Eric, who's going to follow, is going to talk a little bit more about what we could do in the interim. It's probably all I need to say.